Hey guys, welcome to this guide on the 5 things people do wrong and how to improve them and get better so you can rank up. To those of you who know my channel already, you've seen my reviews. You probably already know what I'm doing. To those who haven't, what I'm doing is, what I've done so far is, I've had people send me demos. I've seen through the demos and did a review of them and explained to people what they have done wrong. I realized that after watching about 15, 20 of them, from silver ranks up to eagle ranks, most people do typically the same 5 things wrong. Of course, it's always decisions and stuff like that that you mess up with, but just on the mechanical and the gameplay part, I noticed there were 5 things that are fairly easy to fix and improve to make you better. And if you can master these things, once you're aware of them and get better at them, I can see myself people hitting like Distinguished Master Guardian ranks without any problems at all, without actually getting better at making decisions or knowing the game that much more. You're just getting better at doing everything, and as opposed in the gameplay and mechanic essence instead of everything else, basically. Um, so basically what I want to do is just make a guide simply and just point out the 5 flaws people do. And in order to do so, I'll just make a list of those 5 things and just make an example and explain to people what you're doing wrong, why it's so important, and all that stuff, blah blah blah. Just getting to the point. Right now, I've opened up a demo here. Right now, I'm gonna pause it around now and find an example in here in a bit. So basically, I'm just gonna get to the point and make that list. So the list of number 1. The main thing people do wrong, and probably one of the most important things to do right in order to increase in rank, is crosshair placement. I'm gonna go really fast through it here right now, because Adren of, I forgot what his new team is called, X-Curse, X-Denial, has made a really good video on YouTube about crosshair placement basically, and why it's so important, how it works, and all that stuff. So I'm just going to really fast explain it to people who do not know what crosshair placement is. Crosshair placement is basically the concept that you always keep your crosshair where at the exact moment of right now, the enemy will pop up if he pops up. So in essence, very essence, simply means that if you run around a corner, you keep your crosshair where the enemy will come around when he comes around a corner. So right now I'm going to show you a demo of not me playing, of course, I'm not that bad. Once you get to higher ranks, crosshair placement is basically perfect. So I can't really get my own demos because it's really good. So what I've done, I have a friend of mine, I've already done a demo review on this guy. Let me find him. This guy. And there's 2 occasions in this demo he has really bad crosshair placement, and it makes him, well, one time he just misses a kill, and the other time he actually gets killed, instead of not doing anything at all, because he had bad crosshair placement. And there's a difference between doing it wrong and just messing up. I just played a match where I messed up my crosshair placement, meaning I kept it slightly too high, so I missed my shot on the guy, and he killed me instead, and we lost a round and the game. That's something you always do, even at my level. You get to Legendary Eagle Master, or even higher, up to Global Elite. You can always mess up those things. But as long as the intention is good, and intention is right, the performance doesn't really matter all that much. Just as long as you're aware of it. And when you mess up, you gotta be aware, okay, I messed up at this point, and I gotta improve it. So right now, this is my friend. He's gonna up and go up mid and peek up at the arch. I'm gonna skip that moment. I'm gonna turn down the volume a bit. Not that much. There you go. He's gonna come around this corner and peek the guy who's at arch. He's gonna get up to this one and slow it down a bit so you can see it better. So you see the guy at the arch in the corner with a pistol. So obviously you want to kill that guy with your AWP. So first off, he does a couple mistakes here right now. First off, you can see him pre-aiming very, very early on that corner. So there can be a guy around here, this position, which is very common. So if there's one guy there, hang on, yeah, you can see my mouse. One guy here can be this corner, and if you have your AWP like this, he can very easily kill you with a pistol. 2-3 dinks with a USP or 2 with a P250, and you're dead. So what he's going to do right now, you see just as he comes around the corner, the guy who's playing Arch went to closet in that little cubby down in here. So he's hiding in there right now, and there's no one in the corner, which is unlucky. But what happens, you can see right now, Asa wants to peek the closet. And at the exact same moment as he starts moving, the CT moves out. So what's going to happen is, because he's actually going to pre-aim towards that corner, you can see right now how he moves out, he's going to completely be oblivious to that guy and of course miss the shot. And this is not the best example, but he's pre-aiming two places instead of having crosshair placement, which I mentioned was always having your crosshair where the enemy is going to pop up at this exact moment. So if he had good crosshair placement, he would always have his crosshair on the corner itself and not pre-aiming towards the closet or cubby or whatever you call it. So what this does right now is basically just makes him miss the kill, which is unfortunate. Might have missed it anyway, but you also want to make sure your chances are as high as possible. Now this round, they're ecoing. Your pistol again, he runs a banana with a rifle. There's a smoke there which isn't really there. It doesn't exist. It's just a bug with a demo somehow. When I reviewed this the first time, which is also on the YouTube channel, when I actually comment on what it's doing, there's no smoke there. And now there is for some reason. But anyway, so you can see again anyway with the X-ray where the CTs are. And you can see they stack 3 guys and banana. And he's going to push up here and get raped, basically. So he comes around the corner, and look where his crosshair is. Right now it's on the wood, basically nowhere. He comes around and he pre-aims on that corner where people usually stand. You see, and he sees a guy. There's 2 guys here, and they're both hiding. Right now, one of them is peeking. And they start shooting at him. They dink him, it gets really low, and now he reacts and starts shooting, misses all his shots, and he just gets killed. Okay. So this time it's actually a lot worse. He actually got killed. Because he was pre-aiming at that corner up top instead of actually just holding his crosshair on the corner. If you see the video with Adren, which I'm going to link in the description, you see very well what it means and exactly how it works. But the best way to improve this is actually very simple. Always be aware of it. Always be aware where is my crosshair. If the enemy pops up right now, where it's going to pop up, alright, it's going to be there. I'll put my crosshair there. And when you're playing, it's very easy to forget it. But look through a demo of yourself. You can fast forward it, or at least play at a higher speed than this right now. And actually simply just and see where you're doing it wrong. And also going on an empty server or playing deathmatch and just always being aware where's my crosshair right now is also a very good way to do it. Because when you're in a match, you can't really go around thinking about crosshair placement all the time. You have to think about the game itself, what's happening around you. Which is why just doing it on deathmatch or on an empty server, playing versus bots, just practicing it is very good practice. Because once you do it enough, you don't think about it anymore. You just do it. For me, it's a habit. I always have crosshair placement up. I never really think about it. And I'm sure it's the same thing for everyone. So if you still haven't understood what I mean about crosshair placement, check out Adren's video right now. Get a grip of how it works and exactly what you do. Then come back right now to this one. Is what I recommend. If you do understand what it is and know how to fix it, by all means, continue watching. So the second and third thing on my list of things that can make you become a better gamer is they're kind of linked together. I'm going to mention one at a time, but I will also explain how they can be linked together. It's positioning and movement. Positioning is a concept that you're always positioned in a way that gives you an advantage. A very good example is something I do very often. Let's say you're one-on-one, because there's always the easiest or one-on-two rather, or one-on-one doesn't really matter. Just it's an easy example. Just point out really good. Let's say you're a terrorist, you plant the bomb here, you're one guy left, and you have no clue where he is, right? He can be anywhere. He could come long, through CT spawn like this, or short. So where do you want to position yourself so you can kind of cover everything? Well, one position is here, which is kind of fine. He comes long, you can see him, you can take some cover easy, you can peek short like this, and he comes up rope, flat ramp here, you can easily just drag and kill him. This is actually not a bad position at all. But I see what a lot of people do is they put themselves in positions like this, like here, and they check here, check short. What if it comes long right now? It's a free shot on you if you're not looking, in addition to you have absolutely no cover. So if he comes around, shoots you, and he misses the first burst, you miss your burst, and then what? You're just down to luck, basically. So that's why this position is not that great compared, for instance, up there, or even this one, which is probably my favorite position when holding A. Because if they come short, you got a small gap there, you can see them coming before they can see you. You can just basically shoot them, just get a couple of free shots really fast on them. Then of course cover, you can play around this one, be really annoying, and move about and all that stuff. If they come long, you simply check like this, and check long, and even check CT spawn if you wish, like that. Um, which is a very good example of positioning. Also on B, for instance, let's say, again, you're a 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, you know where they are. Instead of holding like this, which a lot of people do, there's basically three places you can get shot from. There's tunnels, there's doors, and there's window. And you can only cover one at a time, right? So you don't want to stand here. You want to stand either here, so you're only covered from both window and tunnels, but you're covering door, or something like this. So you see there's only one place you can get shot from at any given time, and that's the place you are looking. This is not the best because there's no cover, same thing with here, but sometimes when you're in a position like this, you kind of just have to go for it and just take that chance. You can't always have a perfect position, you just kind of make the best out of it. Same thing if you know there's a guy outside, instead of like standing like this and covering both, you're just going to stand like this or this even. Just make sure that if it comes in, you kill him. If it comes there, you kill him. And if it doesn't come that way, you just check it every now and then. Which is why this is kind of similar to movement. Positioning is something you do at all times, really, even when you move about. But it's often very important that you get a good positioning and you move, even when you're positioned, but in a proper way. Basically, mean, like, let's say you don't know where he is, and you're kind of standing here. You want to check tunnels every now and then, check doors, check window perhaps, and then of course move. But you never want to check it like this, or just this. What if it comes doors right now? You go here, check it, like this. And this one is actually better. It's actually going like this. Just here, you can check it. So you see, even when I'm not looking somewhere, I'm covering myself from the other angles. That's the movement part, or part of the movement part. So as I mentioned, the positioning is actually always placing yourself in a position which gives you an advantage. And that's just something you want to think about. You can also go to an empty server, practice it, watch a professional play, and even when you're playing in a match, just ask yourself a very simple question. Can they come anywhere right now besides where I'm looking? If they can, you just change position. It's not always easy to find, it's not always you can find a position that allows you just to answer that question, they can only come where I'm looking, but you want to just make the best out of it. And when you hold a position, you don't want to move too much, besides like when you're checking, basically. And as I said, just improving, always ask yourself, how am I standing right now? Can they come from anywhere, but where am I looking? And if they come, can I get into cover? Is the angle good for me? Will they pre-aim this position? Just all these minor questions you can ask yourself just to make things better. And the third thing, as I mentioned, movement. When it comes to movement, it's kind of hard to explain what makes it so good, what's so important about movement. I actually got an example, one more example. I'm not going to show it right now because I haven't prepared it, to be honest. But basically what happened is, I had a teammate was playing here, so he spawn, and I was playing B. No, I was playing mid. I forgot. My bad. And it kills me mid with the bomb, the turret, and starts running lower, and I can hear it. So I'm shouting to my teammate, he's going B, he's going B, he's going B. What my teammate does, he's not really sure. Should he push B, just holds like this. So I tell him, dude, go fucking B. And he starts running B. What happens is, when he comes here, you can hear the terrorist start running in. He comes here, and he kills the guy. Right? And I'm actually going to find that example for you later, because there's some other things as well I want to point it out. But either way, so what's so good about this is just the movement. When he hears me shouting it's going B, you get a decision to make. Should I hold here for the eventual fake, or just because I don't want to lose this position? Or should I run? This decision to run was the best one by far. But even if you don't do it, to move it just going up here, just running as fast as you can, and getting to this position really fast is actually very important. Because he got the kill simply because the terrorists didn't expect him to be up here this fast. Also, when terrorists ran up doors and up lower and up here, he ran all the way. He didn't walk, he didn't stop, he didn't check every angle, he just kind of ran in and went for it. Because you want to be as fast as possible. Because when you move, a lot of people, they run, then you walk for a bit, you run again, you walk, then you run again, and then you walk. Or you run, you stop, you run, you stop, you walk, you stop, and you kind of do all three things at the same time. You can't mix those up. You either run, you walk, or you stop. And when you do each of them is, as a general rule, quite simple. When you want to be fast somewhere, you run. Let's say you're 2-on-2 or 2-on-1 and your A guy gets killed. Then you just rotate as fast as you possibly can until you run all the way. You don't start walking until you're actually getting close. Because typically you want to run as much as possible. You never want to walk or stop unless you have to or you feel like it's better. And when you walk, it's because you don't want them to hear you or know where you are. This is also a very common thing. Let's say you kill a guy and you start walking around. They can see you on the stealth camera, and also they know you're there because you just killed that guy. So walking doesn't really help you anything. You actually want to kill that guy, run for a bit, and then walk, because that gives you more distance altered after you kill that guy. As I said, like, if this guy had walked up to B, he would have been up in the door corner in time. He would actually have gotten to plant the bomb, perhaps safe, and then been up here after the bomb was planted. But instead he ran, and he got here fast enough. And of course, people often run, stop, run, walk, and all that stuff. You only stop when you're expecting someone to be there. Like if you're clearing B as a terrorist, you can stop here because you want to make sure he doesn't play big box and just peeking. Otherwise, you just walk out if you don't want him to hear you. Basically, you know you're there, which is something I always do. Because being fast and running as much as you can is actually really important in this game. When you put up with a decision to make, like go A or go B or go there, usually just do one of them. And if you do the wrong one, tough luck, you die, but at least you did something. If you just wait around and don't really do anything, you just kind of just walk around or stop, it just gives them more time to rotate, move around, reload, get better positions, or even change positions. So it's really important just to move very fast as much as possible. If you watch pro players play, they'll always run unless they don't want you to know where you are. They don't walk more than you do. Usually they walk less. Right. Number 4 on the list of what things people do wrong is nade management, which a lot of people mess up. Adrian also has a video on how to throw good proper flashes, and it's a very good video. I recommend you to watch that one as well. But basically, nade management is the concept of only throwing grenades, AG grenades, flashes, smokes, with a clear purpose. What a lot of people do is they throw a nade just to throw it or they throw a bad one. And a bad nade can often be worse than not throwing it at all. So let me quickly go through the purpose of a grenade, of all the grenade types. You have AG grenade, which typically is either to do damage to someone, if you know they're there. Let's say you see this guy up here and you know he's up there. You can nade him to do damage to him, right? But also you can use grenades to make sure they're not somewhere, or you can stop them from going there. Let's say he's always pushing mid with an op, and you want to stop him from going. You can double nade that angle every round, just to make sure he doesn't do it. It's like when you double nade long on this too as well. You can nade this angle. I can never hit this nade, but I actually hit it, wow. You can throw that nade to make sure he doesn't peek you there, or you can nade banana to make sure they don't push up banana aggressive. There's all these angles you can throw grenades at, just to make sure they're not there. Which, to be honest, is probably the primary use for AG grenade, in addition, well, of course, when you know where someone's there, you can throw a grenade at them if they're just hiding. But typically, it's often better to just keep your gun out if you know where they are. So that's the purpose of AG grenades. Flashbangs is to do one of the 2 things most of the time. Well, 3 things, kinda. Number 1 is if you know they're there, you can flash them so you can actually get there. So they can get flashed or turn around and then go and kill them. That's not a good flash, by the way. Flashbang is much harder in CSGO than in Source and 1.6. Because if flash lands just slightly not in front of you, you don't really get blind at all. So flash needs to be good. But also what a lot of people do, they throw a flash like this. And if you guys see that flash coming, he's just going to turn around like this. Not get flashed and turn around back and kill you. Doesn't really do much. That's also bad flash. I see it's very commonly used. People are up here. They throw a flash like this. And expect the guy to be flashed. You come around the corner, he's not flashed at all. He just shoots you and like, oh my god, flash! Like that, you know, and you're like, what? And they're just like, are you serious? You thought that would flash me? Of course it wouldn't flash me. So flash is typically is very common. A good one is this one. I can't throw it down for shit. It's like this. I never actually threw it myself. Yeah, basically over this roof. It pops around here. So if the guy plays this angle, he won't have time to see it and react and turn around. He's going to see it, he's going to pop, he's going to really flash. But of course, you can't throw that flash by yourself and then have him then go out and get up here. It's a flash. Let's count how long it lasts. Flash pops up, goes here, it's 0, 1, 2, 2.5 seconds. A flash lasts around 2.5 seconds if it lands right in front of you at point blank range. So if you throw a flash, it actually has to pop, and you have to show up, get around that corner before 2.5 seconds have passed. This is what this flash is really bad. Let's count. 0, 1, 2, just about 2.5 seconds. So if you throw that flash and come around here, his flash is just going to fade out by the time you arrive. So this flash is not a good flash at all. What is good is if someone else throws that flash for you while you're up here. So when the flash pops, you can go around the corner and instantly be around here. This is called a pop flash, where you throw a flash and it pops just as it crosses around the corner, and then someone throws it for you. So when the flash pops, you're here already, and you're shooting. You can't throw a flash, wait 2 seconds and throw it. And the smokes is probably the simplest one. Well, there's more purpose of flash actually. Of course, there's the fake to make sure they think you're going A or B when you're not going it, just to throw flashes and you can fake it out. And of course, it's these flashes, which is pretty good because it lands behind you. You don't get flashed, right? So you can throw it, make them turn around, or make them go away. You can see them, get a good position versus them because they lost their angle and precision. Then you can just kill them when they pop out again. Smokes, just clearing out angles. Smoke here, it can't shoot you from quad. Smoke the other direction, it can't shoot you from arch. We can smoke this one, and it can't shoot you from quickly spawn. So basically, you're just clearing out angles. So right now, I don't have to worry about this angle. I can just check this side. I don't have to look behind me. Very simple with smoke. Of course, also you can stop pushes. So if you're playing here, you can just throw smoke here, and very simply, if they run through, they're dead. So, let me show you some really bad grenades. This is a very common one. Very, very, very bad. Reason? Well, first off, it doesn't really flash anyone. Second off, it pops way too early for you to actually take use of it. And third, if you're going B, and that flash comes, what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in their team? Well, they're going to see the flash, and they're going to call their flashes B, so the guys on A is going to hear a lot of flashes B, it's going to rotate around. By the time you get up, you might even be 3 guys here, because it threw the flash so early. This flash is actually completely useless, you don't want to throw it. What you rather want to do is actually get up here, have your gun up, you maybe grenade close if you want, smoke here, well not there, smoke there, flash, go. Another thing, which same as smoke as it flashes. When you smoke, typically you want to be there as the smoke pops. You don't want to smoke. This also, see people do, they smoke, they flash, then they go. That's way too much time. You want to smoke, flash, and go. Because imagine you're playing this angle here, and you see a smoke coming. You're not going to like peek out really. You're going to fall back, rotate around, or just stay here. Most of the time at least, you're not going to run through it. So often you can smoke and flash at the same time and just go, and as the smoke pops, you're out there. And I do this all the time in Dust 2. It's one of my favorite things to do in matchmaking. It's this exact thing. I'm playing terrorist. I won't got mid. I'll throw this smoke. Flash. Not the best flash in the world, but anyway, check this close corner. And here, you see, the smoke pops as I'm actually around the corner. So, and then I'm here. They can kill these guys. Because when they see that smoke, they're going to expect that, okay, they might be going to rush out mid. Maybe they're going to flash, something like that. But if they see that smoke and you're actually out there as it pops, often you're there faster than they expect. And you don't want to throw bad nades, really. As I mentioned, AG grenades clear out spots, and if you know someone's there and they're hiding, you can nade them at times. Although usually it's better just to have your weapon up. Flashbangs to clear out places, like to flash somewhere, but make sure it's a good flash. Adren has that video, as I mentioned, it's going to put down in the description and you can see it. And smoke to clear out angles, so you don't have to look there. And improving this is very simple. Every time you throw a grenade of any sort, just think to yourself, what is the purpose of this grenade? Is it a good flash? Is it a good smoke? Is it a good AG grenade? What is the purpose? Is the purpose good? Yes, okay, then keep doing it. If it's not good, alright, don't throw it. Do something else. That's also a decision that you probably get better at learning once you play the game more. It's also something I can mention in the demos. If you send me some demos, I'll review them. And number 5 on the list of things people do wrong. It's probably the hardest thing to improve, but it's maybe the most important one, but it's not actually as important as people seem to think it is. It's simply aim or burst control rather, recoil control. People seem to think that aim, like with high ranks, is all about like one-shotting and getting a headshot really fast, and sure, to some extent it is. But getting the headshot really fast is usually very often just due to positioning, to movement, and crosshair placement. It's not actually because you can get that drag and get those shots really fast. This is a map. It's called Training Aim CSGO, which I've played a bit on, which I think is really cool. You basically go here, you get a gun, put the settings on, defaults are fine, that's what I use, and you just start. Go to level 1, 2, 3, 4, just click start. This puts all the red dots you gotta hit. And it's quite simple. But what you do is you move it slowly, just make sure you can actually move your crosshair in the right direction all the time, or drag really fast. But I suck at this, just to point it out. Still, I get a lot of kills. I get a lot of frags when I play usually. The reason is simply because of 2 reasons. Like, first off is the 4 other reasons. Movement, positioning, crosshair placement is really good for me. I'm really good at it. Second is, when you see a person, if you miss that first shot, you want to make sure you can hit every other shot as well. Because if you miss one shot, you're going to burst him, and if you hit 3 shots, I can't type this, in a row, often that's going to kill them. So you want to practice burst control, basically. This is also something you can do on deathmatch. You can practice movement, positioning to some degree, crosshair placement, and this burst control on a deathmatch server. Just run around and you see someone, just practice getting those 4 shots on target. You want all those shots to hit him in the chest region. You can't go for his head, but typically you hit with that one burst, he's dead anyway. So if you miss like all those 4 shots, you don't want to risk him actually just killing you. And this is something that's actually very hard to learn, but it's something as long as you think about it and just you're aware of it, it comes really fast. And as I mentioned, like a lot of people think their best play in the world is can just see a person and instantly shoot them in the head. This is not the case. I've played versus the best teams in the world, and they hit a lot of shots, yeah, but the main thing is not that they get those headshots all the time, it's just that when they see you and they burst you, they don't miss that burst, which in most cases you do. So you come around a corner, you see a guy and miss that headshot, and you burst and you miss it, he's going to turn around, see you and burst you, and you're dead. And he doesn't have to headshot you, he just shoots a burst at you, and his recoil control is so good, so they make sure those 5 shots can hit you. So as I mentioned that, at the higher level you go, the less often they miss those bursts, or those sprays basically. So once you get down from like the top ranks, like Legendary Eagle Master to some extent, with League Supreme Master and Global Elite, people miss those burst shots more, and even if you mess up yours, you can still get out there with a kill. I mean, with the lower ranks, people miss their bursts more. I notice myself when I play with lower ranked people, and I meet like people in the AK region, the Master Guardians, Elite, and 1 and 2. I can basically mess up quite a lot, um, and still do really good and get a lot of frags. Because if I come around a corner and miss that shot, he's still not going to kill me in most of the cases. But I do the same thing and I play with my own rank or even higher ranks, just no way. I miss that shot, I'm dead. So that's really important. As I said, it's really hard to improve. But the best way to improve it is to either go into something like this, on an empty server even, just practice with show impacts on, and just make sure you can hit those, get around that burst every single time. Or in a deathmatch, just be aware of what you're trying to practice on in deathmatch, which is, can be cross replacement every single time you move around. It can be just getting that burst right every time, or even just the one taps. Just be aware of what exactly am I practicing. You don't go to football practice without thinking what are we trying to improve. You don't just do things. You actually do something because you want to improve at it. And the same thing goes if you want to improve at this game. Every time you're doing something to get better, like empty server, shooting this map, or a deathmatch, you want to be there for a reason. Have a goal in your mind. So those are the 5 things that I've noticed just about everyone do wrong from every single rank. And if you can improve on those, I'm pretty sure that you can get to probably Distinguished Master Guardian without any big problems, to be honest. And I want to show you that example of the guy going B, which of course I have no clue which one it is. Okay, I'll do it later, another time. I'll do that another video. But basically, yeah. You don't have to have extremely good aim to get a lot of kills in top frag, like a lot of people seem to think you have to have. You just have to have good cross replacement, good positioning, move good, have good movement, and all that stuff, and just throw grenades decent, and have some control of your bursts. If you never mess that up, you're going to be really good, but of course you're always going to mess up things. It's just how the game goes. But the whole concept, as long as you're aware of what you're doing wrong, how you can improve it, it's always going to get better. So this is my first guide and video guide of what to do, how to get better at the game. So there's probably going to be a lot of flaws here. I might do a new guide, a new video at some time and explain all 5 of these better, or just do it again because I messed up this time really bad. But we'll see how it goes. So as always, any feedback at all by replying in comments, sending a message on Reddit, sending a message on YouTube, or anything at all is very greatly appreciated. So thank you for watching. Share this video to everyone you think wants to get better at the game. Show them my YouTube channel. Encourage them to send me demo reviews, demos of themselves playing, and I can go through them. And I will. It's just going to take some time because I get a lot of demos right now. But just be aware of that. If I see these 5 things in your demo quite a lot, I'm basically just going to tell you, watch this video and look through your own demo. You can improve them by yourself. You don't have to have me tell you what you're doing wrong. It's only when you're not sure what you're doing wrong, there's a point for me watching your demo. So thank you for watching. Share, subscribe, all that stuff, blah blah blah. And hope to have you send me demos. Alright.